go.
Yep. All right. So this is going to be how it might have to be going forward because I just returned from going to the office for the first time in 3 years.
Why the hell are you getting home so late?
On Mondays, I work 11 to 8.
Uh,
Yeah, so I got home about 10 after 8 because that's how long it takes me to get home, even with no traffic. It's like an hour and change. Yeah, so probably for the last 2.5 hours there, I was the only person in the building.
oof.
Even the janitor was like, hey, my friend, do you turn the lights off when you go? You turn the lights off? I'm like, yeah, sure, man. I got it.
Why, just curious, why do they have you back at the office considering your job can be done remotely?
I don't know. Every company is requiring that now. They're requiring at least 2 days a week.
Huh. So what
So
days do you go? Monday and what?
it starts this week. So I'm going to do Monday and Wednesday. Monday because like I would work till 8 anyway, and there's really nothing going on Monday nights. Wednesday, the kids don't have practice or anything too. There's nothing going on after work. So it's easy for me to go and I don't have to worry about putting too much stuff on my wife to drag all the kids around. So just easy to do that for now, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it sucked. Plus too, like Mondays, like I said, I work 11 to 8, so the commute Monday morning, I'm avoiding all that traffic, which ain't too bad.
Yeah.
Yep. So, what's up with you?
Nothing. Just, enjoying some Monday Night Football.
Yeah, how's that going?
Hey, it's going. It's third quarter. 49ers are up 14-6 on the Rams.
Woohoo! I didn't watch shit this week. I watched what ended up happening with the Mets game. I caught a little bit of that yesterday.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. These fucking Mets.
I saw they were up 1-0, and then I changed the channel and come back in there. It's like 3-2.
So the Mets go into the last season, or second to last series of the season, right? When they go into it, they are up by one game in the NL East, right? So they're in first place by one game. All they had to do this weekend was win one game, and then they would own the tiebreaker, right? So that means the last 3 games of the season, they'd have to win or just match what the Braves did. The Braves actually lost tonight, so the Mets had it was like a 76% chance of winning the division going into the series.
Yeah.
And they got fucking swept. Lost all 3 games. They threw their fucking 3 best pitchers, Jacob deGrom, Max Scherzer, Chris Bassett. And no one showed up. The fucking offense didn't show up. Complete mess. Typical Mets shit.
That's what I was going to say.
The Mets are going to win 100 games most likely this year. They have 98. They got to win 2 of their last 3 against a very bad team to win 100 games, which is probably going to happen. And winning 100 games, they still found a way to fucking beat the Mets,
Yeah, yep. That's how it goes, man.
It's fucking insanity. Like they never stop with this shit.
Yep. Oh yeah. Every season the same deal.
That's all they do. One fucking game. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
when did I make it to the series against the Cubs? Was that 2011?
No, it was 2015 when they
2015,
played.
Okay.
That was the match. That was the National League Championship Series. They played the Royals in the World Series.
What am I thinking of then? Maybe it was not the playoffs. Maybe it was the Royals, I guess. Because I'm thinking I was in Florida and I was at the ESPN zone watching the Mets play and hoping for the best. And I can't remember. I think they won that game. I don't remember what game it was. I don't remember much about it. But
they won Game 3 of the World Series in 2015. They lost 4 games to 1.
So then maybe that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
You could tell me that date next. I could tell you that I was in Florida at that time at the ESPN zone.
Yeah, it was late
there.
October, early November.
Yeah, we were probably there for Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, that makes sense because they actually played. It might have been like Game 4 on Halloween.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how about that? Is that some shit too, man? This fucking Hurricane Ian that came in. We caught it today. We just had rain all day, but man, oh man.
Yeah, I mean, we had it pretty easy compared to some.
Yeah, we had nothing. We had rain.
Yeah.
They had fucking demolished down there. Crazy.
Yeah, did you see some of these videos?
Bonkers.
Yeah. I saw one. It's like the camera's set like 10 feet high, and it shows like the very beginning where you can see everything clear as day.
Yeah.
Then it's like hour by hour updates. Before you know it, there's the fucking water is up to the camera, and there's
Yeah.
the house in front of the camera that gets completely shifted off its foundation and just like floats away.
Yeah. Nuts.
Fucking crazy.
Sharks swimming down the streets and all
Yeah.
kinds of wacky shit.
And I don't know if
Yeah.
you saw the videos too of like the Gulf of Mexico in Tampa Bay.
No.
So I guess the hurricane, the eye, does this like reverse sucking factor. Dude, it like sucked the Gulf of Mexico dry.
Really?
Like people were standing on land and they could see like miles out, and it was like
A
dry.
beach.
Yeah, it was like dry. I mean, not dry because it was like swampy, but it was like
Yeah.
no water. I
Wow.
guess it's like something the hurricane does. It sucks out the water. And the scary thing is they're worried about like when it all rushes back, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy.
There's a because I have one of those VR headsets. But it's not VR. It's just like a headset to put your you can put your phone in,
Right.
and you can look on YouTube for virtual reality videos. One of them is a tsunami, like virtual reality tsunami safety experience.
Hmm.
Like, okay, turn around, run into the building, get as high as you can, and watch the waves coming in from the sea. It's like, holy shit, man, that's so damn scary thinking about that.
Yeah.
Not to mention now winds and just damage and shit everywhere. I saw stuff. Those people just like there's just leave stuff around, like
Yeah.
coolers and all kinds of shit just floating down the street.
Oh, yeah.
Cars are floating down the street.
Yeah, it's just misplacing fucking everything in its path, you know?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, like you could tie down your grill as much as you want, but when houses are getting lifted off foundations, like I don't think your bungee cords are gonna fucking save your grill.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah, I know. What are you gonna do? Pack up the house with everything?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So that's been crazy. Everything's fucking crazy. It never stops. I made some notes for this week. You know what I found out? I was going through shit too, so I actually have it right here. I found I'm pretty sure this is the oldest one I have.
What is that?
It's my New York Comic-Con ticket from 2008. I think that was the first year I went.
Nice.
I went every single year up until they didn't have one in 2020.
Did they have one last year?
I don't know. I think they did, but it was small. And not a lot of people chose to attend and all that other stuff. Maybe they canceled it last minute, actually. So maybe they haven't had one. And this is the first year back. So I wasn't gonna go. I kind of had accepted not going. I mean, because I don't know. I didn't. You had to get tickets in July. I didn't know what things would be like. At home at that point.
Yeah.
So and then I kind of let my wife know because this weekend too is ridiculous between my father's birthday and my birthday. There's a Oktoberfest in Greenwood Lake. There's Crystal's, my wife's friends, kids, her twins. It's their birthday.
Yeah.
There's another birthday at the party they're celebrating on. It's ridiculous this weekend, and of course throwing Comic-Con in on top of it. It was like, oh, so I mentioned with all this shit going on, I imagine it was Comic-Con too. So she felt guilty that I wasn't going because she knows how much I like going.
Yeah.
So she decided to surprise me with 2 tickets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so going Friday. Can't wait. Usually I go in because it's a whole fucking deal, man. For me, I used to get the 3-day passes and I'd go Friday and Saturday. Then I'd go Friday myself and then go like Saturday with a friend. I'd go with Alan or something.
Yeah.
And then because I'd go Friday when I would go on myself, it was like work. I'm planning this deal a month before it happens. Who is at what booth? What exclusives do they have? How much is it selling for on eBay? Planning ahead, like crazy. And this year I'm flying blind. I've done no prep work. So you know what? So I'm actually going to try to go and enjoy myself rather than put into work. Because that's what I do. Friday I'd go nuts, and then Saturday I'd enjoy myself. You know,
Yeah.
I'd bring comic books to sign. Like, okay, this guy's doing a signing at this time. I got to get somebody to witness it so I can get it put in. You know, I can get it thrown in the slab. You know, so they can do that deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 9. That's a Spawn number 1 right there.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's how it goes. And this year, like I said, it's like it's too late to be prepping. So I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna have a good time and try to shill my comic book out there a little bit, see who I can talk to about that, and just have fun because there is so much stuff to see. It's such a blast. And like when I get there, I'm gonna realize like, oh man, I haven't been here in fucking 2 years. I've missed it so much.
Yeah.
Because it's so cool.
It's
There's
at the
so
Javits again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now the Javits is all redone
Yeah.
too. So things are a little different. I don't even know how the whole layout is. I think the main floor is the same, but like downstairs is all different. Yeah, tons of celebrities there. Like I know Sebastian Stan will be there, Oscar Isaac will be there, Brendan Fraser's going to be there, Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox will be there.
Really?
See, that's the thing too. Though, like I'll walk through there just to see who I see, but it's so wild too because you have so much stuff. Like people will go there just to meet people because you can wait in line all day.
Yeah.
So I met Stan Lee the last year he was there. So I got there like I usually get there about 6:00 in the morning. The doors open up at 10:00, and you go in. I went right to the line for Stan Lee. I was in line until probably 1:00 there to meet him.
Jesus.
Yeah, and it was nuts. I actually posted it on Twitter today. The thing I got him to sign, the Funko Pop that my wife got me. It's a Peter Parker Funko Pop with his mask off from the Stanley Kamikaze convention or something.
Yeah.
I thought that's worth a couple $100 now. But
Nice.
but that was just so cool to meet him. But yeah, man, but I spent all day in line. And people will do that. People will go there and they have no problem. I'll sit in line all day, or they have gaming areas where people will just go and just fucking play Magic the Gathering for hours with people. I mean, that's what people dig. That's what people dig. But there's so much stuff to see. I think I might have talked about this in a previous episode, how much I love going to it. And the stuff you see, I love everything about it. I love seeing there was one time I was with me and Alan were waiting in line to meet Robert Kirkman, the creator of The Walking Dead. We were waiting in line for our turn for the autograph. And we're in line on the end, and there's one kid's there next to us, and we're talking to him, and then some other kid comes up and he's talking to us and he's asking questions. And they both had these gimmicks around their neck, they were almost like Tamagotchis. I don't know what they were. But they saw that they both had one and they were like, hey, yeah. Huh. And then they use them to like sync up or something like that. And just seeing like that cool little interaction between total strangers that now you have something in common. That's the best part about it. That's what was so fun about it, is there's something for everyone. If there's something that you think like you're the only one that heard about it, maybe it's not going to be that crazy. No, guess what? There's a huge following of people that love that thing too.
Yeah.
And it's cool. I walked in one time, or we were outside getting food one time. This was another, just like people watching too. It was so awesome. There was a kid. He was probably a teenager. I don't know how old. He wasn't 18. He might have been like 14, 15, 16. I don't know. But he was, mid teenager range. He was dressed like a Ghostbuster. And he was there with his parents. And you could see his dad was walking in with him. His dad was walking in like ahead of him. Like, just, all right, let's just go. Let's do this. Let's see what this is about. And he's like got all his gear, and he's asking his mom to hold something too. And he's like making sure he's got all his shit on. His mom's walking with him and holding his stuff he needs. And that just told a whole story to me. Because like here, this kid is probably like meeting up with some other Ghostbuster friends that he met online, and this is the only place they get together and hang out and do their thing, and they're gonna take pictures as the Ghostbusters, and it's gonna be this kid. This is what this kid has waited all year for, and he's going in, and he's gonna have a fucking blast, and that's what I love seeing, man. It's so much, everything about it I love. Some people hate that it's so crazy and there's so many people. I love it because that means there's so much more going on. It's such a blast. It's such a cool thing to experience. There's cooler ones. Like I know, like a friend of mine likes going to Baltimore because Baltimore is a lot less people. And if you're there for comics and just regular stuff, that's okay. But going to New York Comic Con, man, there's tons of shit everywhere. They used to have a giant. There one year there was a guy dressed as Bumblebee in a Bumblebee costume, walking through, eyes lit up, talking through the radio. It was crazy, just walking through. And then the next year, I don't know if they hired him because Chevy usually has like a booth where they have a few cars in the middle of the place,
Yeah.
and they had this dude walking around taking pictures around there. So I don't know if he was there in the first place or they saw that costume and they were like, "Hey, bro, we need you to come back next year and do this." And they pay people for that shit. And it was so cool. And that was the first place I got to play the Ghostbusters video game. Yeah, I'm so much cool
Did
shit.
that game ever come out?
Yeah, the Ghostbusters video game.
Oh, is it
Oh,
good?
hell yeah, it was so good. It came out. I actually don't know if it came out for PlayStation. Yeah, no, I think it must have come out for PlayStation. I know it came out for Xbox and the Wii. We got to play it on the Wii. We were playing Road to, because this is when you could get there early enough and you could play games and it was cool. Now it gets so crazy you don't even get to play games. Like that's another thing too. Like if you're a news guy, you have to tell them like, "Hey, I'm a news guy," so you get cut to the front of the line. Otherwise, you could wait in line all day to play 2 games.
Yeah.
And we used to get to play a ton of shit because it wasn't as crazy as it is now. And we'd get there super early. You get there super early and you got some time to do some stuff. So we're playing, I think it was Road to WrestleMania. It was like one of the worst WWE games there ever was. And we were playing it. And then we saw like Ghostbusters out of the corner of our eye. And Alan is like, "Bro, I'm not even playing this anymore. I'm over there. My eyes are over there."
Yeah.
Because it was such a huge deal that was happening. Yeah, the fucking game was so good, man. It was the original cast, original voice actors. It was like almost like a spin-off. I think it was originally Ghostbusters 3 because it was written by Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, so it was like a pitch for Ghostbusters 3. All the same music, same sound effects. You go back to the hotel, you caught slime or there's tons of connections to the first one. Game was so good. I beat it so many times. I have it for 360. It was so good.
Oh, nice.
And we got to play it and it was great. Yeah, it was so much fun. I now that I'm talking about it now, I'm even more amped to go. I can't wait to go Friday. I'm excited to go and just see what's up. Yep. So what do you got up for the weekend?
I have a wedding.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I have a wedding. My good buddy, who I have Jet season tickets with. He's getting married Saturday, so church service is at 1, and then the reception's at I think 6.
Oh, okay.
So down in Jersey, it's by I think it's like 15 minutes from the Meadowlands.
Oh, okay. What's the name of the place?
I forget. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't find it. The hell with it.
The hell with it.
So yeah, we're staying overnight, and then the next morning, he talked to like our Jet ticket rep, and he got a ton of tickets, and it's basically like an after party, like tailgate / go to the Jets Dolphins game. So,
really?
Yeah. So
That's
like me and him,
awesome.
we're going to the game anyway because we have season tickets. But again,
yeah, but now you can take a shitload of people with you.
Yeah, so it'll be good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it'll be nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
The weather holds up,
Yeah, no, exactly. What's it supposed to be?
I think it's supposed to be nice. I thought I saw like mid 60s. So.
Oh, okay. All right, that's good.
Let's see. East Rutherford Daily. Yeah, Sunday it's supposed to be a high of 66 and sunny
against the Dolphins.
Yep.
Dolphins. All right.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So let's see what else. Let me look at my notes here. So I was bringing up because I made a few as the time goes on. Yeah, I want to talk about Florida. I was looking at somebody posted a picture too. Actually, Kevin Nash did. He talked about, I don't know if it was his house, but his area where I guess he used to have a beach behind his house to the ocean, and now it's just a drop. It looks like it's like a 10-foot drop just behind his house where it used to be like, I guess, a beach.
Yeah.
Now, I guess like you were talking about, like it goes in there and it just sucks everything out.
Yeah.
And took all the sand with it. And yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was fucking crazy. Just a drop now where there used to be beach, sand, and nothing. Crazy. Yeah.
Some of the pictures and videos are just nuts.
Yeah. His he has a podcast out now, which is awesome. It's called the Click This Podcast. And it's him and this guy who used to do shoot interviews. and they have a podcast where it's not just a wrestling podcast. It's like he talks about everything. Talks about wrestling. He's a big political dude. He watches the news and stuff like that. But
Yep.
man, he is so much on our level. He fucking hates Trump, but he's a big gun guy. He's big on his guns and stuff like that. Like he's not an asshole.
Yeah.
He just like he has his opinions on shit. Like when he was talking about the raid on Mar-a-Lago. And he's like, if the fucking Democrats don't have something concrete, this is gonna bite them in the ass.
Yeah.
He's a straight up talking dude, and that's why his podcast is so good to listen to. He just doesn't give a shit about anything. He'll tell stories about anything. He'll talk about whatever, man. What?
What's his name?
Kevin Nash.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other guy.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's Kevin. The other guy that hosts it with him, his name's Sean something. And he hosts. Yeah, he used to do shoot interviews with him and stuff like that. But yeah, so now they have the Click This podcast. Yeah, so it's Nash's podcast. No, but I'm talking about Nash.
Gotcha.
Nash is just a cool dude, man. Him and Scott Hall, I could listen to just talk to forever. Scott Hall was just so cool to just chat about shit. He's another one, man. You watch like clips of him doing a shoot interview online, and he was just he'd talk about anything too, and he's so laid back and just cool, like nothing was a big deal. Yeah, and like I said, in talking about Nash's shit, he talks about the same thing. He talks about playing basketball, his time in the army.
Yeah.
And it's so chill, cool to listen to. He doesn't talk a ton about wrestling, even.
Really?
He plays a game where they read two news stories, and one of them is Florida, and one of them is Jersey, and one of them is Florida, and he has to pick which one.
Yeah.
And usually he's pretty good about that. They're fucking ridiculous stories, of course, but
yeah.
But it's awesome. Like I said, it's cool because he's not an asshole. He's like on par with the shit we talk about, where he sees both sides of it and he uses his head. And I think he even said that in one episode. He's like, it's just don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what it comes down to. Yeah, it's called the Click This podcast. He, I guess, lost power in Florida because they usually put out new episodes every Monday. And he wasn't on this one, I guess. So because I guess he lost power because of the storm. But yeah, awesome podcast. Click This, KLIQ. Yeah, fucking podcast. He has this philosophy too, or at least his dad does. Because again, straight shooting dude. He brings up how his dad used to work at the Ford motor plant. And anytime somebody would come to the door, no matter what they were selling, he was buying it. His dad would.
Yeah.
He goes, because that's how they feed their family. I work at the Ford motor. He wouldn't mow the lawn. He wouldn't do shit. I think he'd have somebody mow the lawn because that's what that guy does to feed his family. I work at the Ford motor plant, so that's how I feed my family. That guy, he mows lawns to feed his family, so he can mow my lawn, so he can feed his family. And it's just an awesome, to me, it's just an awesome philosophy to think about. Like I say, he goes, he doesn't care what it was that they were selling at the door, he's buying some.
So you're telling me I got to go to Mercedes tomorrow and buy a Benz because that's what that salesman does. He sells Mercedes-Benz to feed his family.
Well, yeah. You know what? Yeah, that's I think what it comes down to now. You gotta just buy everything they're selling.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I'm gonna last too long if I do that.
You know what I mean? Jesus Christ. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, everything's fucking crazy. Everything's nuts. I've been waiting. I think we talked about What a Time to Be Alive. Because was like a good name for the podcast, even.
Yeah.
Because we say that shit all the time.
Oh yeah.
Where'd that initially start from? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Right? What a time to be alive.
See it like online, like with memes and shit all the time,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. What a time to be alive. It's a good name for a podcast.
Yeah.
But I think we were talking more about not being an asshole. So that's where Mind Your Effing Business came from. But going along with that, man, I was looking at, so every once in a while I go on Indeed.com and I'll just look to see what's out there.
Was
And
that
I'll put it,
job postings, right?
that's a job posting site. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll just put in shit that I'm interested in: comic books, toys, games. Let me show you. Let me bring up some of the stuff that I found. I wonder if I could share my screen. Let's see. I think I can. I don't know who's watching, but maybe this is good for going back. Let me try to share my screen here. Let's see. Actually, I don't know if maybe I can. Indeed.com, not private. What the fuck? So, again, looking for just stuff that I'd be interested in. What the hell? Fucking Chrome and its privacy. What the fuck? Your connection is not private, so I can't get to Indeed.com? Yeah, come on, I'm going. So, again, searching for video games.
Right.
Let's see. I think I'm going to just put in games, but maybe if I put in video games, we'll get some of this shit. And now, the filters I'm using too. I'm just checking. So I'm doing 50 miles from my house, let's say, right? Because you can do that type of filter.
Yep.
Let me see if I can share my screen. Fuck. I don't think I can. Damn it. Let's see. Oh wait, yeah, I can. There we go. Cool. Let's see if it keeps me on screen too. Does it? Am I here too?
Wow.
Yes, I am. Yeah, awesome.
Fancy.
All right. So here's what I'm looking for, because I'm looking for like a full-time job. Looking for video games. Salary estimate, the one I saw was over what? 60 plus. All right, let's do that. When I was looking yesterday, it was like 70, 75 plus, right? So here you go. Manager, video gaming, National Football League.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah. In New York City. Excellent understanding of video development and the QR prep. Let's see what that one is. What is it? So 66,000 to 83,000. The manager of video game position is a key member of the video game group of the consumer products team. This role supports the director of gaming. So again, that's not like for EA Sports. That's
Right.
that's for the NFL.
Yeah.
So is that like working with EA to make sure that the games are fucking good?
I mean, you would think, right?
Yeah. Support director to work with existing partners and licenses to ensure business objectives are achieved. Yeah. So that's a job that pays 66,000 a year to 83,000 a year to make sure that like Madden is authentic.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah. Director of operations collectors. That's just a store, I believe. Grading service founded by. Oh, okay. Here you go. This doesn't say that. This doesn't say how much it costs, but this is because now a new thing, like you used to just grade comic books, like I just showed you slab comic books. Now you can slab anything pretty much. You can slab action figures, you can slab video games where they give your video game a rating in the box. That's looks like what this is. Director of operations for collectors where for grading video games.
Huh.
Doesn't say the price there, but 75 to 95,000 a year. Associate system administrator at Rockstar Games. So let's see. I want to come across some of the ones that I came across the other day because these all seem like legit positions.
Yeah.
But now let me see if I can find. Hold on.
Yeah, I lost you. You're muted.
I didn't unmute myself after I coughed. There we go.
Huh.
So it makes me think. Let me try to find it where there must be. I feel like it's parents after school trying to like pay somebody to help their kids keep up and be cool. All right, I'm just gonna search directly for it about one of the ones I saw. So, Minecraft Club, in Chester, New Jersey.
Wow.
38 to 48. This is a full-time job. 38.
That pays you enough to not afford any semblance of rent.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. Full-time job that used to be a good salary that now doesn't pay shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't say what the job actually is, but the Minecraft Club is paying, let's say $40,000 a year, $40,000 to $45,000 a year average. Let's see, a part-time computer science instructor. Is this one for Minecraft? Kids pros and STEM instructions. All right, I don't see anything. I guess web design, coding, blocking. Okay. That one, okay. Product specialist, coding in Minecraft.
Yeah, that pay range.
Yeah. $75,000 to $150,000 a year. Qualifications, Minecraft Education Edition, 1 year. Work authorization, bachelor's to teaching, what? Coding, 1 year. 1 year preferred. So it's not even like you need a ton of experience in coding.
Yeah.
To coding in Minecraft, which is what? Playing Minecraft?
Yeah, I don't know.
Plan, develop, maintain, and host virtual and in-person coding in Minecraft, educator training, manage and develop relationships with key external stakeholders to what? To play Minecraft.
Yeah.
And there's some that there's like I was looking for comics. There's let's see. So you know what? Let's get more even specific. Manga, because manga is like huge. Manga artwork. So many guys that do artwork, they do a manga style of artwork. Do you know what that is?
No idea.
It's like anime artwork.
All right, makes sense.
So part-time administrative assistant, that's not it. Or contemporary art teachers. What the hell? I guess I don't know. That's weird, but let's say. Comic 3 jobs now. See, that's why I'm not looking 35 miles. I need to look 50 miles because it goes to the city. And yeah, there's $75,000 plus. Looking for comics. Coordinator, director of publishing. So all this stuff seems legit. Arts and crafts instructor in Chelsea. Arts and crafts instructor. Part-time, but pays $40 an hour.
Nice.
Most classes run from 3 to 4 p.m. So you're like, okay, I guess $40, a day. Or on set occasion, schools book classes at 3:30. Yeah. To teach art. Pay rate, here's $50 per 60-minute class. So it says $40. It's really $50 an hour. Anchors, live hosters, broadcasters for Ali Pearl Hair.
What the hell?
I have no idea. There you go. Director of Career Development, School of Visual Arts, $70,000 to $80,000 a year. Fan Expo, show coordinator. Yeah. So I was looking through these, and again, some of these that you come across, and you're like, so like to be anime, cartooning, and comics creation teacher. That's a thing now. To just sketch comic books. Part-time, $40 an hour. But they're looking for these kind of jobs, like Parker Anderson enrichment. So it's like after school stuff for kids to do random shit.
Yeah.
Drawing instructor, $40 an hour. To be a drawing instructor. To be an art teacher. Well, that's not even an art teacher. That's like just a drawing instructor. Art was like so much more. Here you go. After school chess instructor for kids kindergarten through first grade.
Those kids don't know how to play chess.
Those kids, right? I can't fucking get my kids to play checkers, let alone chess right now.
Yeah.
$40 an hour, Monday through Friday. to teach a kindergartner how to play chess. I feel like I should be doing this on the side.
Yeah, fuck it. Apply. See what they say.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a time to be alive is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Because there's
Fucking
so much
chess.
shit out there. And I've talked about this before too. Like there's like remember when we were in school, and you'd always have the talk about, like, we were in like elementary school or maybe middle school, and they'd be like, all right, what do you want to do when you grow up? And they
Yeah.
go down the line, and people would say, oh, I want to play video games for a living, or I want to be a video
Yeah.
game tester. And you're like, everybody laughed because that'd be cool, but that's not a real thing. Okay, we'll tell that to the fucking kid who just made like $4 million playing Fortnite.
Oh, now it's out of control. Forget it.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't as prevalent when we were growing up. So I could see that reaction, like, oh, stop. But now it's like a legit career.
But imagine if you kept up with it.
Well, right, yeah.
That's the thing. Like, because tell me about your son. What's he doing now?
He's still big into Fortnite. He does play Call of Duty, he plays Madden, he plays NBA 2K, but his bread and butter is Fortnite.
And he's 8.
Yeah, and he's nasty at it.
Yeah.
Like, we'll play sometimes together.
Yeah.
And we'll be off like building stuff, and like 3 people will come over to like fuck with us, and he'll just like take them all out. Like, not bad nines. He's like, all right, Daddy, come on, let's go back over here. Like, dude, you just wasted those guys. He's like, it didn't faze him. Yeah, he's good.
But he wants to do that, right? He wants to be a game streamer, right?
Well, he wants to do 50 different things. Right now his big thing is being a professional football player.
Oh, okay.
Now that could be just a phase.
That's yeah.
But it might not be. I don't know. That because he spends a lot of time on YouTube now watching football highlights. That's like his main thing.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's it changes a ton, right? Like, I know my son, man, he was so addicted to firefighters.
Yeah.
For like probably 2 years. He was so hooked on firefighting. Now it's like it's such old news to him.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing thinking, like, man, he's so into this. Maybe he'll keep up with this. Yeah, no, he's over it. We had about 10 fucking fire truck toys. He had this whole full firefighters. We had great pictures of him in a full firefighter uniform and stuff like that. And yeah, no, it's old news now. He's not that into it anymore.
Yeah, can't be bothered. Just throw it in the trash, Dad.
Yeah, I know. Now it's funny. He wants to be a scientist, is what he says, which is so funny because that's what I used to say when I was his age.
Really?
Yeah. And then you have to have the talk of like, well, how come you're not a scientist then?
Yeah.
It's like, well, buddy, other things happened and I just kind of didn't want to do it anymore. And I didn't go to school that much.
Yeah.
He goes, all right.
You'll understand one day.
Yeah, exactly. You'll understand next year when you don't want to be a scientist anymore. Yeah. He goes, I'm going to be a scientist, and then on the weekends, I'm going to go to school to be a ninja.
Oh, nice.
Like, okay, well, you can probably do it now, buddy.
Yeah.
That's have you ever seen the movie PCU?
Yes, long time ago.
With Jeremy Piven. I say it all the time. He goes, you can major in Game Boy if you know how to bullshit. And that's exactly true these days, man. You can do whatever the hell you want. Gary Vee talks about it too. He's like, if you like the fucking Smurfs, you can start an Instagram page and a podcast about the fucking Smurfs and somehow make money off of it.
Yeah.
Or if you're a special kind of peanut butter that you like, talk about that peanut butter ad nauseum, and now that's what you'll get. Like, it's nuts. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, because you'll see certain podcasts or things for different topics, and you're like, who the fuck's into that? But
yeah,
but thousands of people that are into it.
Going back to, like, guess what I said about Comic-Con. You forget that there's fucking 7 billion other people in the world.
Yeah.
So there's got to be enough people out there that are into it that that are into the same wacky thing you are to make some money off of it.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking crazy. That whole deal, man, like influencers and internet marketing and the way that you could make money off of that. I mean, now it's old hat. Like, everybody kind of knows how it's done. But when it was first really happening, probably about like 2-3 years ago, I was so interested in it because it's like, yeah, I mean, how are these people making money doing what they're doing? Oh, they're getting paid to post shit that they're doing, like if they're wearing the same clothes or they're going to a place, people are paying them to show off their shit. It's like it's a commercial, but it's just it has more eyes on it than if you were watching TV.
Yeah.
That's why I think all the time, like wrestling shows have, like NWA used to have a wrestling show just on YouTube, but they wanted a show, on cable television or whatever. So yeah, okay, you get the people talking about cable television, but more eyes can literally see your show on YouTube. Like cable television, okay, who's ever in your area, this or that, or you
Yeah.
could put it on YouTube, and literally the entire world now has access to see your show.
Yeah.
And you could put commercials on it and everything like that, just like you would television. It is. It's so crazy the way everything can fucking go.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you can. It's a platform too. That's the thing. Like, you don't have to, be associated with the TV network or. I mean, look what we're doing. We couldn't do this fucking 20 years ago.
Exactly. You hear that, fucking MeUndies?
Yeah.
We're putting it out there for you. I'm down to my last beer.
Uh-oh.
And it's a Jacko pumpkin ale. Ugh.
Nut crunch fucking ale.
Really cold. It's not as terrible, but polished off some old summer ales too finally, and now I'm making some room for Oktoberfest just in time for it to not be around.
Yeah, I feel like it's done by like beginning of November.
Yeah, that's what happens. And then winter lager comes out.
Winter ale down your throat.
Yeah, and winter lager, which is fucking great. Don't get me wrong, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, all that internet marketing shit, and that's what that's why I have fucking 5 Instagram pages that I keep up with it. I mean, I have mind your business. I tried starting a brand with Cube Nerds. I don't know if I wore myself thin or just my short attention span had me moving on to something else.
Oh, well, also too, it's tough. It's a very oversaturated thing.
Yes.
You kind of gotta like be unique enough to catch the eyes of people. I mean, people luck into stuff, and there's so much. And also too, like the algorithms with Instagram, like who knows if it's getting pushed out or not. Like
that's why
factors at play. You
have to post like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Post like crazy, so you hope that something catches on.
Right.
And that's how it is. You should be posting like on your Instagram or your TikTok at least. I think TikTok it's supposed to be like 4 times a day. Everywhere else at least twice a day. That's how I grew with Pop Quiz Apparel. I grew about 300 followers in 2 weeks because I was posting twice a day, commenting, and like my job was taking a hit because I was on Instagram all day, commenting on stuff, making friends, making connections, following people, all this other shit. Yeah. Just getting it out there. And that's what you got to do. And that's that too, man. You see people like, and it's like everything. So like I was talking about with sports last week, where there's that kid who's so awesome now that by the time he gets to play, there better be some other kids just as awesome as he is. And then the game is just going to be at a whole other level. And that's like back in the day, not back in the day, I could say like 3 years ago, where there were, you could try to get a job being a social media coordinator for a company. Let me, hire me to post on Twitter for you.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, that's a fucking job. That's nuts. How much does that pay? And it's like, oh, well, guess what? Now it's a fucking huge job because it's a whole marketing thing you have. And then again, you started out where it was just a tweet. Now you got to tweet about the right thing at the right time, something that's trending. You got to include edited pictures or video clips that are edited just the right way. So those people that started out doing it early, now hopefully you either evolved into being able to do shit at another level, or now it's old news because you can't just tweet like you used to be able to. Now you got to tweet with a fucking emoji that that's on the end of it automatically, plus an edited video and all that other stuff. The game has just kicked up so much, man. It's so crazy. It's there's so much that goes into it that you don't even think about. I had a friend today because I was taking pictures of my office and I was posting them on Twitter. He's like, how are you posting them so fast? I'm like, oh, I'm just taking the picture and posting it out there. It's, you just do it. But Like, it's just simpler for me to just take the picture and post it, but then there's other people out there that can do it and take the time to add, like whenever you post a story on Instagram, you got to put the right music to it with the the stickers and then edit it, and
It's a whole production.
Yeah, I couldn't do half of that fucking shit. Like, how are they posting some of these things?
Yeah.
But man, that's why it's tough. That's why it's tough to keep up, because there are people that do it to such a high level. But if you do enough of it, man, and if you got the right content, the cream always rises to the top.
Yeah, it's funny, because like pro sports teams, like social media has like taken it to another level, man. Like yesterday, the Jets won, and like within minutes, they had like these perfectly like produced like jokes, and just the like creative minds that they hire just to run their social media accounts. It's crazy.
Yeah,
and they're all like one upping each other, and it's funny, but it's crazy. Like these guys might know nothing about sports. They just get like, comedy and can figure it out. And now they've made like a career for themselves, fucking tweeting.
Yeah, exactly. That's so
crazy.
fucking crazy to think about.
Yeah.
That it's like that, man. I mean, it still boggles my mind, but it's such a thing. Like when I was promoting my pins when I first put them out on Pop Quiz Apparel. There was this dude, I think Avengers Graham is his Instagram handle.
Right.
And it's like, okay, $20 and I'll put, you send me a picture and I'll post it in my story. He's got like 35,000 followers.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what's $20 for this? So 35,000 people can see my thing,
Yeah.
And sometimes it worked for some, sometimes it didn't, but there you go, man. Then you got so many people that do that will pay you to post about their shit, and then you just grow and you make more money. And
it's wild. I think if he did that for like 20 people that day.
Yeah.
Right? Which doesn't even sound a lot. Like he's literally like sharing your shit.
Yeah.
Right? It's like a click of a button. Like if he did it for 20 people, that's $400.
Yeah. For the day.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yep. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's That's it's all about playing the game, man, and knowing how to do it. And that's why, like, your son's probably all up on it, and he knows what they do and how they do shit. Like when you go, like, because I watch tons of videos. That's why I have a microphone and I've got the light, and I try to do anything to make my shit look a little bit more professional. Like, here, you want to see something fucking funny? Because so like I try to find what's a way I can do it to make it look as good as these guys. And it's fucking, am I using the right mic? Am I doing the right using the right camera? How are these guys doing it so good? Yeah, there you go. Is it even on the one side? What is it? Fucking disconnect. One of them's out. I guess it broke at fucking one point. Yeah.
Well, the one side looks nice.
Yeah, the one side looks nice. I don't know what happened to the other side. And this is cool because it's got an app on my phone that I can change it up, but let's see. Yeah. I guess the one side blew out. Or it's not plugged in or what? It looks like it fucking blew out. Motherfucker. Well, anyway. So, but again, that's like me. You can see on the YouTube channel I have I tried doing a streaming video. Did you watch it at all?
On the YouTube channel?
Yeah, on the Spear Studios YouTube channel.
No, I didn't.
That we're on. I tried doing a streaming video of me playing Showdown 64, right? Which is like that No Mercy mod.
Yeah.
It was horrible because I don't know, maybe it's my internet or something, but like the gameplay was just so fucking slow. It might be the laptop itself, but I tried doing it with the lights on and making it look, but but again, it's so funny because that's like how it is. Like it's me. It's literally me trying to look cool and not pulling it off. The lights are not sticking. They're halfway falling off. Now I turn them on. They're half out. And it's just me trying to look cool like the other guys to make my shit look professional and, not pulling it off.
I don't know. Your backdrop looks nice. It looks legit.
Like right now, all the shit I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually brought it up on the Comic Book Club podcast. that I was on. That was one of the first things I said, like, can you say all, what do you got going on behind you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just talking about this shit, I mean, because you can't even see the stormtrooper helmet that's back there. And yeah, and that's what I try to do. Because again, if we're gonna video and try to doctor my shit up a little bit, and that's
Yeah.
why it's funny that I've got the comic books and comic art and wrestling, and you've got the fucking Michigan banner and Michigan jersey and shit like that. It's exactly how it goes.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, so that's I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, but yeah, just trying to look cool, trying to stand out and do something again. The main thing is that the cream rises to the top. So if you've got something that somebody else has the same exact idea you had, just do it better. Do it your own
Yeah.
way. That too. I tweeted about this not too long ago. I had a thought, because again, being a comic fan and a wrestling fan, I thought a long time ago about doing wrestling matches at comic conventions and have the wrestlers dress up as fucking comic characters or pop culture characters and wrestle. I even knew guys. I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy could be the Hulk, this guy could be Spider-Man. But I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, probably, you'd run into copyright and shit like that.
Yeah.
But sure enough, there's guys that do it.
Hmm.
So it's like I had this idea a long time ago. Never thought anything of it. Somebody was like, I'm fucking doing this and I'm pulling the trigger on it. There you go. Now somebody does it.
They beat you to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't put any effort. That's why it's like, if enough of that shit happens, finally, you're just like, if I want to do something, I need to do it, or somebody else is going to do it. Nothing's gonna happen by sitting around and doing nothing.
Yeah.
That's where it finally came time to make my comic. Because like, look, I want to be a comic book writer. No one's gonna hire me just to be a writer when I have no experience. That's why I'd go on Indeed and look for fucking comic writing jobs. And you could write for websites and stuff like that, but that's kind of boring, like, okay, I do comic news and whatnot. But
Yeah.
if I want to write a comic, nobody's going to hire me to be a writer if I don't have anything to bring to the table. So fuck it, I do it myself
Yeah.
and look online and see all the right tools. And what a time to be alive. I can fucking make my own comic book and get it out there for hundreds and thousands of people to see, and and do my own thing. You don't need anybody. You can do everything all on your
Yeah. No,
fucking
that
own
is
now, man.
wild. That you made a comic, and
Yeah.
you couldn't do that 20 years ago.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
need all types of different support.
Yeah, if I could draw one up, sketch one, I might sell it on the street corner. That's how you do it. Now, though, with thanks to the internet, I've got 400 followers on Instagram or some shit that follow me, and I've made tons of friends by doing podcasts and one of my Kickstarter. Tons of guys that are in wrestling and guys that like comics, and they just again built up so much of a community around wrestling and comics because of it that you'd never be able to do that previously, but now you can because the internet. And
Because what a time
what a time to be alive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. That's why too I put out on Facebook, if anybody else is interested in doing a podcast. I still think you should do a sports one.
Yeah, no, you know what? There's times like after after the fucking Met game last night, like I just get on something 20 minutes and just rant, get it out. I think it would be therapeutic too.
That too.
I do think of that all the time. Like even if I just like record myself and then maybe
Dude, I bought this shit because I bought it when I was doing a Cube Nerds podcast, like on my drive to work. I was doing it myself. This fucking microphone right here. This was, I think, $100, maybe $100. Maybe it's probably even less now, because now they're just old news. This fucking microphone right here. It just snaps. I gotta take off my case, but it just snaps right into the bottom of my phone.
Yeah.
I can record just a regular. I can use like a voice memo app, or I can go right into Anchor. I think I have to use a voice memo, because if you use Anchor, it just uses like your regular thing and it sounds like you're talking on the phone.
Yeah.
But I can record a voice memo, save it as a file, upload it to the Anchor app, boom, podcast.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not that hard.
Yeah, maybe I'll
Yeah, now I've got fucking great sound quality with a legit microphone that I could plug right into my friggin' phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's I might take this with me when I go to Comic-Con and do some, I don't know, do some kind of content, you know?
Yeah.
What's that? I found another one up here. 2019 Comic-Con. Yeah. That's why I thought if anybody else would be interested in doing one, start a little podcast network. Because I could do a new podcast every day.
Yeah.
I've got the Cube Nerds podcast that my friend Scott is dying to get back on, which he's right. We really need to do that again. It's just so hard to find the time because I could do one every night. This one, thankfully, we've been kind of sticking with it, you know, and that's what you got to do is just
Yeah.
make it a legit thing and stick with it. But I have an idea for a wrestling and comics podcast. I have the Make Life podcast. Maybe one day we'll just skip that. We'll talk to you about your time in the Marine Corps, and we'll just dedicate an episode of this to that.
Yeah.
Because that's,
But you said it is tough, like, to stay consistent because, like, we do this Monday night because it's a mutual night that works for us. Like,
yeah,
I couldn't do this any other night.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
like maybe Friday night, you know. But
Yeah,
then again, we'd have to do it early enough before I went to work. Like,
yeah.
it's
I
too
know
much.
on a weekend, the middle of the day, but nobody wants to do
Yeah,
that shit.
right.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Find a time that works for you. Yeah. And then how many times last year when we were trying to do this was like, oh yeah, no, I got to work overtime, or yeah, no,
Yeah.
the kids haven't gone to bed yet. Always
Yep.
fucking something came up. But it's so easy, man. Like when I do it here, like we'll record this episode, and I will then I'll go upstairs and I'll go on my phone, and I'll download the audio file on my phone, upload it to the Anchor app. Anchor app already has the intro. I'll put an outro, boom, post it, and in probably in 2 hours tops after the show's over, you'll be available to download this as a podcast and listen to it.
Yeah, it is wild.
All on my phone. It is. You can do anything now, man. Anything you want to do, it's like hammer down on it like crazy. I wish it was like this when I was a fucking kid or when I wanted to do something. Just
Yeah.
to be like, okay, let me really focus on doing what I want to do instead of trying to do it now, fucking 38 years old. Some
Hey,
random shit.
better late than never.
Yeah. Did I send you the Stan Lee meme? I did, right?
Which one?
Stan Lee created Spider-Man when he was 40.
Oh, yes.
Which means your life hasn't even begun yet.
Yeah.
That's something to think about too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's wild, man. It's you fucking do anything. I talked about it on that Comic Book Club podcast because they were asking me why Etsy. We've talked to a lot of people selling comics. Nobody sells it on Etsy, and I was like, well, it's for me it was convenient because I was already selling the pins on there, and it's just easy because now I've got my printers right here. I bought shipping label paper. So it prints it out a shipping label. I peel it off, stick it on the box. I bag it and board. I ship it out from here. That's why it's so easy with Etsy. You can do anything on your own, man. You just got to put in the work to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. All the what is the that one company where you can ship everything from home? I forget the name of it. It's like you have a post office at your house.
I don't know.
You can, like, weigh things and print out labels and
Stamps.com.
yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, like I bought a scale and stuff like that. But yeah, you can do that. You have a scale. Yeah, you schedule pickups if you're shipping a ton of shit at one time. You can schedule a pickup and stuff. Yeah, that's what Amazon flippers do. So we talked about last week when you're going to retire. When you retire, what are you going to do?
I don't know. I have no idea.
All right.
I don't know. I don't know, but it's exciting because I could go do whatever the hell I want,
Yeah.
Because
Like
I
literally.
got a safety net of a pension, so
Yeah.
it's not like pressing. Maybe the first year I'll just hang out, play golf.
There you go.
Or if something cool comes along, or it's funny. Like I've always been intrigued by the whole sports radio thing, but the thing is with that career, you kind of like start out as like the mailroom guy, right? Then you're like an assistant producer. Then you're like a producer forever,
Well,
And
again,
then you
man,
pick up random shifts. Now, what's funny is like doing that at like a young man's age or like when you have a family, that's kind of tough because you gotta kind of make money too.
yeah, yep.
Now, like if I retire and like went that route, I could pursue that,
But also
I mean,
too,
yeah, I'll be the 45-year-old man, but whatever.
but now you could start a fucking podcast.
Right, that too.
You could fuck that. You could start your own sports radio show.
Right, of course. It's just
Promote it.
yeah, podcast, yeah, you gotta promote your shit.
You do have
Meanwhile,
to promote your own
if you
shit,
break
but
in on the radio, people are listening to you because they're
yeah.
listening to the station, So
But if you get a following or the right person hears you doing your
oh no, of
podcast,
course.
you're in. You jump right to the front of the line. You don't need to worry about that
Or at the
middleman
very
shit.
least, like guys have done this, like some of these producers, they'll get to like fill in for a show. Like some guy bangs in sick or he's on vacation, whatever, and then they get to fill in. And then you get on and then like you plug something,
Yeah, it's your time to
you like
shine.
how you sound, now you just plug your podcast
Yeah.
and boom,
That's it, man. That's why you don't need that shit anymore. You
Yeah.
can do, because that's what I think about too when I hammer down all this shit again, going back to making my comic. Nobody's gonna hire me to be a writer, and I'm getting too old to get into any kind of entry level position to try to get there. I got a family I got to support. So you know what? I'm gonna need the job I have now, and I'm gonna have to just do it myself.
Yeah.
And then hopefully it catches on, and it just takes a shitload of work to promote and do all kinds of stuff, but I can do it. You just got to put in the work to do it, which is a pain in the ass. But
Yeah.
the more work you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. And that's why I said that, man. And I said that years ago, sitting in the backseat of your car and you and Piro fucking going off about something. I don't know shit about sports, and listening to you guys fucking talk about stuff, it was so goddamn funny.
Yeah.
So if I thought that was funny, it would be awesome. How many people that know sports and shit would listen to a podcast and laugh and agree
Oh,
and
yeah.
have a great time listening to a podcast?
I'm sure. I know there's times like I'm at work or something, I get in a groove and I know I can just feel it. Like it's a good rant,
Yeah. And you could literally do it.
Yeah.
It's what a time to be alive, man.
Oh yeah.
You can talk about, you could do fucking anything you want. It is crazy. And that's something even like, I don't even want, like, I don't want to deter my kids from doing something stupid, but it's like, who knows? That's something stupid that you do, you finally get into and want to do forever. That could turn out to be a great thing. And if you enjoy doing it, fuck it. Yeah. Make a living about it. And I remember every time you talk, like you see interviews where they talk to wrestlers and guys are like, they want to get into wrestling. And they tell them, no, go to school first and then look into being wrestling. Like, no, fuck it. Go try to do it now. Do whatever the fuck you want now. School is old news. I tried going back to college and it sucked.
Yeah.
And again, once I had kids, I couldn't keep up with it. But now we're to the point finally where it's not that big of a fucking deal.
Yeah. How close are you to finishing?
I'm fucking way off, bro. I'm like halfway there. Yeah, it sucks because like I wanted to go through, I took all of my fun classes already.
Yeah.
I took film and all the easy classes.
Right.
God bless you. Was that a sneeze?
That was a call.
No. And then now I'm into shit like quantitative business analysis and statistics. And doing work at home, I got to teach myself how to do it all at home.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I was submitting graphs. Like, I didn't know what the hell this was. I'm pretty sure the teacher even said one time, like, I don't know what this is, but okay. Because, they know you're doing it from home. They know you're a parent probably that has a shitload of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And it sucks. I hate that, I hate doing it and not finishing it. Obviously, it's painful. But it wasn't worth it. And it's not worth the fucking student loans that are going to be a bitch once I really have to start paying them off.
Oh, yeah.
It helped fund my wedding, but now I'm gonna have to go back and pay it off finally, and it sucks and it's not worth it. But also too, for what? To do something that probably now that it's even been a little bit longer, I still don't want to do. And it's stuff that I could probably teach myself, to do it in a modern age, because what's the diploma? It's a piece of paper. Yeah. Really what schooling is, and what I learned It's really just to show how much bullshit you can tolerate. Like if you got a college diploma, it means you can tolerate bullshit, and somebody sees that on a resume and like, oh, okay, this person really can put up with a lot of shit. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then a big thing too I noticed when I was in college and writing papers and stuff is that you need to have they're very big on you forming your own opinion. But you need to form your own opinion based off of other people's opinions. But so what do you want me to do? Do you want me to tell you what they said, or do you want me to say what I said? Because I'll write a whole paper with no resources about what I think about it, but I need to have 10 resources about what other fucking people said about it.
Yeah.
Who cares? What the fuck? What do you want? Do you want me? Or do you want them? What the fuck?
Right.
That's where just bullshit that you put up with, And then, but there was so many times too where it's like here, like, okay, I can listen to both sides, and okay, I understand both people's sides, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't need to have a fucking conflicting opinion. I was like, okay, what's the opposite of this person's opinion? Like, I don't know. They have their opinion. Good for them. I have my opinion. My opinion doesn't have to be against their opinion. Good, it's just fucking stupid. It's just mind-numbing, time-consuming nonsense.
Yep.
That ain't nobody got time for anymore.
No. Nope.
Yeah. Nope.
Fucking overpriced bullshit.
It really is. I mean, especially now, the more than ever, it's like people are finally realizing it. So that's good. But again, because now you can make a living off of something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which is fucking nuts. Yeah, all we need, man, is that one clip to jump off, and then
that's it.
Yeah, I gotta. You know what you gotta do is sound bites. Again, it's because it takes work. We'll do this whole episode. Usually I'll find like one. Really, what I'll do is only have the time to find one clip that we talked about within the episode, cut that down to a fucking Instagram story, and put that on Instagram. And there you go. There's a little promo piece for the episode.
Yeah.
I could do it a couple times a week if I kept skimming through it, but who's got the time? Plus, I got to post about promoting my comic and my own shit. Yeah, but if you put in the work, man, that's out there. Really is. You can do whatever the fuck you want. And my dad had this idea. He had this entrepreneurial idea he talked about for a really long time. And I remember when he was retiring, it was like, oh, what are you going to do? Do you want to do something? You really want to work at that? And he was like, no, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Well, you put in your time. So yeah, you're entitled to not do anything. But he gave me the vibe like he would want to continue to work at something and just do something he enjoyed.
Yeah.
And then now when he retired, it was like, yeah, no, I don't really want to do shit. Like, oh,
yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
So he's not doing anything, huh? He's just hanging out?
Yeah, he just hangs out. He was doing some side work for a bit, but yeah, now I think he just fucking hangs out. I don't know. He always keeps busy, I think, for the most part. I don't know what exactly he does most days. And like I said, I know he was helping out this guy working and stuff. He might still do that. I don't know. Now he's got some arthritis problems he's got to deal with because it's a drag getting old. But yeah, but that just came into like, no, I'm not going to work hard or force myself to do anything. Why would I?
Yeah. Yeah, fuck it. You worked all those years,
Yeah, exactly. Be done with it. And I mean, see, I feel like that too, because that comes up because like my wife says that she's like, you'd be a stay-at-home, you'd be a house husband or a stay-at-home husband if you could. And I was like, well, yeah, I don't want to go to work, but I couldn't sit around and do nothing.
Yeah, no.
Like if I had a fucking $1 billion, that just means I could do what I'd want to do.
Right.
I want to be a comic book writer. I'd be a comic book writer. I'd spend a ton more time podcasting and doing shit like that. Like that stuff I enjoy doing that I could potentially make money off of down the line. That's stuff I would focus on. I wouldn't just be a loaf and do nothing.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. I'd want to work at doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I asked you. I mean, what would you do? But
yeah, I don't know yet. I'm definitely going to do something for sure, but
I think you should. I mean, I think you should do it now. I think you should start a fucking podcast. If you want to go on your own rant, or like I said, you could get Piero on the line or somebody to go back and forth with and go nuts about it. because I think that'd be great. And there's so many stuff because again, there's you talked about it earlier on too because I've had two guys ask me to do wrestling podcasts, and it's tough because again timing and stuff like that. One guy was in Scotland.
Oh wow.
Friend of mine I met through Scotland. He wanted to do a podcast. Tough thing with him though is when it's 8 o'clock at night there, it's
Oh yeah.
3 o'clock in the afternoon here. That's
Right.
one thing. Also, so that's the timing is tough. And yeah, but there's also 100 million wrestling podcasts out there. Just like I think you mentioned, there's 100 million sports podcasts out there.
Yep.
But the cream rises to the top. If you have something that people like listening to and you promote it enough and enough people get it out there and talk about it and it travels, it might take some time, but it'll get there and it'll get to people. And if it's good enough for people to enjoy it and like it, man, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
So I said, go for it. I didn't even think about it too. You're all decked out in the fucking Michigan shirt, Michigan headband.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a hat. It's not a headband.
Oh, hat. That's what I meant. Why? What's Michigan doing? Here's a question because
They're just
when,
living.
when I went to the Rutgers game, I think a friend of my wife's, I don't know if maybe she went to Michigan or what, but she's planning a trip to go to a Michigan game.
Yeah.
Why are you such a Michigan fan?
So growing up in the area we grew up in, there's really no major college football programs. Sure,
Yeah.
you got Syracuse, but that's like 4 hours away. Rutgers, they've stunk forever. Just within the last like 20 years, they've been respectable, and now they play in like a big conference, but they get smacked around a lot. So there's really no big college football program. And then growing up, when you would watch college, they play all the same teams. They show the same teams on TV, the big successful programs. So I love Michigan because the guy back here, I got the jersey hanging up, Desmond Howard. He won the Heisman there. He does he made that pose famous, the Heisman pose. And I love their helmet. It's that winged helmet.
Uh-huh.
So those two things just kind of made me fall in love with them, and I've liked them since I was little, and just stuck with them. And what's funny is I actually am a season ticket holder now too.
To Michigan?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I became a season ticket holder this year because I would like to go out there once or twice a year, and also from what I found out, it's fucking lucrative. I've sold 4 of my tickets or 4 games so far. I still have 4 more to sell. I've already made my money back.
Wow. Okay.
If I don't sell another ticket, I break even. I'm going to sell more tickets. It's going to happen. So I'm actually going to make money. But now the big kicker is next year. So every year they play Ohio State, right? That's their big rival. It's the last game of the season.
Yeah. Yep.
But they alternate. One year it's at Michigan, next year it's Ohio State, and it goes back and forth. So they played at Michigan last year. So this year it's in Ohio State, but next year Ohio State goes to Michigan. That ticket goes for like an easy $350.
Oh yeah.
Well, now I'm getting it for face value. So I either go for cheap, or if I can't make it, I'll make a shit ton of money off of it.
Wow, that's huge.
And it's just cool to say, like, oh, I'm a Michigan season ticket holder,
Yeah.
And it's a relatively cheap season ticket when you're talking about sports. I got 2 tickets for $640 a piece. So it's $1,280 for the whole season. That's really not a lot.
Yeah, like you said, you made your money back. That's
exactly,
wild.
Which is cool.
That's fantastic.
The resale value on college football games is way better than like NFL, because I have Jets season tickets too, but that's hard to even get like face value for.
Yeah,
but that's just the nature of the beast with like the NFL,
Yep. Yeah,
and then it doesn't help when the team stinks either,
Yep. Yeah, college is a huge fucking moneymaker, man.
Oh yeah.
But that's wild. That's such that makes so much sense.
Yeah, what's like all my other teams are all New York based, my hockey, basketball, football, baseball,
but I know that's like saying that because we have a lot of Michigan fans.
Again, it's kind of like there's a lot of Cowboy fans in the area. There's a lot of Steeler fans. Michigan's always been like good, and when you're young, you latch onto a team and then you just grow it. Like there's a lot of Notre Dame fans,
like being a Bulls fan in the 90s.
Exactly, that shit happens. Like if you go to other states, like I got friends in California who are Yankee fans.
Okay.
It's because the Yankees are popular, successful,
Makes sense.
Yeah, so you get that all the time. And, like,
Yeah.
I don't some people are like, "Oh, you're a fan of a team that you don't live by. Oh, you're being a front runner, blah, blah, blah." But my thing is, if you stick with that team, then it doesn't matter, you know?
Yeah. Then
Like,
you're
"Oh,
not.
hey, I grew up a fucking Ohio State fan," but 20 years later, you're still an Ohio State fan, and that's cool, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's again that's different, you know. I mean, yeah, you want to be like, yeah, okay, if you stick with it for, and college is different because again, what do I have to root for fucking Syracuse? You know, because I live in New York. You know, I feel like college is different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
interesting.
that's why I'm a Michigan fan.
That
Yeah.
that yeah, that makes perfect. Yeah, the season ticket thing makes perfect sense. And then yeah, exactly. It's just like something that you grew up with, and it just fell in
Yeah.
place. You know. Yeah,
Oh,
just
and
like
then
yeah.
also too, another big reason, their basketball team, they had the famous Fab Five. It was like Chris Webber, Juwan Howard, Jalen Rose. Like these guys, like they were the first team to ever start like five freshmen, because they were like just
Okay.
nasty prospects, and
Chris
they
Webber
made
is the only name I recognize there. I have his Holojam card.
yeah. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Weber went on to have a successful NBA career. So did Juwan Howard and Jalen Rose, but Weber was the best. But they made like the black socks with the black high tops, like a thing, the baggy shorts, like they're like iconic.
The Trailblazers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I never heard of that though. The Fab Five in college Michigan basketball.
Yeah, if you Google it, they had a ESPN 30 for 30. You've heard of that
Yeah.
documentary series.
The
They had
the
a 30 for 30 on them. It was fucking incredible.
yeah. Well, maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, it was
The
good.
30 for 30 on Ric Flair is on Disney
Yeah,
Plus.
yeah,
I just watched that again the other day.
yeah, yeah. Another good one.
Yeah, the greatest of all time. Yeah. So, all right, I wrote down the only other thing I wrote down. I like what we went on a tangent about because I think we really fell in line with the theme. It's funny we had a theme and then we actually went with it. We never
Oh,
usually have a theme.
yeah.
I think we talked about all that. What a time to be alive. You can really fucking do whatever you want these days. The only other note I had was it says Biden mess.
Oh God.
I
Yeah, I mean, look, I get why people voted for him, but that's shitty that we're in that type of thing. And I've heard it from people's mouths. Like, this isn't just like oh, I'm a Republican, so I'm just going to complain about it. I've heard people say, like, well, I don't want to vote for the other guy.
yeah, that's
Like,
absolutely what it
like, look,
was.
I'm not excited about this guy, but he's not the other guy.
Yeah,
But now you see, like, I guess, I guess if you had that mentality, you're just in a no-win situation because, like,
because whose
this
fault
guy's a
is that
fucking
too?
mess.
Yeah, this guy's a mess, but obviously you think the other guy was a mess too. So now it's like I know I'm voting for this guy just because he's not that guy, which
Yeah.
exactly isn't a good way to think about it. But it should never be. It should have never come to that in the first place.
No, but then
But
you
oh
look
my
at,
god,
like, the difference in what's going on now. Like, I don't know. Like, I know I lean right, but I feel like we were in a better spot 3 years ago than we are right now.
see, I don't know, like, because honestly, I don't hear about it. Like Trump was in the news all the fucking time about
Well, right,
something he said, something he
because he was a
did, or
lightning rod. Now, dude,
yeah,
did you see the other day? And this is the thing. I think we can agree on this. Whether whoever you like or who you dislike or whatever. If Trump misspoke, the fucking media would just go nuts with it. They would go absolutely apeshit with it. This fucking guy we have in office right now, he misspeaks on a daily basis. He doesn't even know what
yeah,
planet he's on, and they just let it go. Like, dude,
yeah.
he wanted to thank and commend and like hear from a lady the other day. She's been dead,
Yeah, since August.
and like he's so fucking out of it, dude. He like missays stuff. So does the vice president, and they just like let it go. If Trump said anything, they would like hammer him.
Yeah,
Now he's a lightning rod, and like but again, like it's very obvious to like trying to shoot, and you just see
but
him after interviews. He like fucking wanders away. He's just a fucking. He's like an old man who's
He
just like
wanders
senile.
away. I know, right? That depends though, because I remember the fucking media having probably it was Fox, because that's the only, again, Fox is like the only right news outlet, and then every other news outlet is left.
Yeah.
But like when fucking Obama wore like a tan colored suit and everybody
Yeah, of
lost their
course.
fucking
Everyone's
minds about it.
stupid. Right.
Yeah, but yeah, oh my God. I mean, again, there's no way, again, right, left, it doesn't matter. Because I voted for him.
Yeah.
There's no way to deny that he is fucking out there, man.
Oh, toast.
Oh, it's
Completely
such
toast.
a bummer.
And then, like,
Him saying like what forgive me for not remembering her name, but yeah, the person, she passed away in August in a car
yeah,
accident, and he's like, where is she? Is she here? She must not
yeah.
be here. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that,
And I'm
yeah.
sure you've seen the videos of him where he just like can't even get the words out, and he's like, blah, 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 blah. Like,
Oh my God,
it's like he
constantly.
does that so much. It's like,
Yeah.
holy shit, dude.
My
Like, and
dad.
again, if this was Trump, dude, he'd be getting fried,
Yeah.
destroyed.
Well, I mean, which Biden is. Here we are talking about him now. There's
Yeah,
clips out there
this
like
is
crazy.
being you, but you know what I mean. Like the mainstream media gives him a huge pass, dude.
Well, see, I don't watch Fox News, so I don't know what they're saying about him. But I would
Well,
imagine they must
I'm
be
sure
tearing him
they are
apart.
saying stuff, but I mean, but again, like you said, the majority of the media outlets, they lean left, and they
Yeah.
would all in unison just destroy Trump. Meanwhile, they just give this guy a pass.
Well, that's, yeah. Which,
Yo,
again,
and then you got
nuts.
like the press secretary telling us that the economy's doing great. Like, I don't know what fucking country she's living in, because have you been to the grocery store in the last fucking year?
Oh,
I
and everything
mean,
being through the roof.
dude, it's just nuts. Now,
I think it's time to
again,
hit the snooze on that alarm, man.
well, yeah, I am hitting it. I keep hitting it.
I mean, not hit the snooze. Just turn it off at this point.
So, yeah, and look, I know like the president isn't directly responsible for X, Y, and Z. However, like, you know, the gas prices shot up. Now they're coming down, but they're still high. You know, the lack of like people working, the fucking inflation's through the roof. Like, you are the fucking bag holder, though, you know. And I've learned that as being a supervisor in 2 different careers now. You know, I was a squad leader and platoon sergeant of Marines, and now I'm a sergeant in my job. Like, sometimes it's not directly your fault, but you're the face. You're the one holding the bag. So someone's got to be held accountable, you know?
Yeah.
And I just feel like we're in a worse spot now than we were, you know? Like fucking like violence, like gun violence in these major cities is through the fucking roof. It's worse than it's ever been. Yet you have a fucking Democrat in office. Like, and they're supposed to be the anti-gun. Like, what happened? What gives?
Yeah, he tweeted the other day, "It's time we ban assault rifles in this country."
But that, dude, that's not gonna. We've gone down that road. That's not gonna fucking do anything, dude. You know how many Chicago has the strictest gun laws
I
in
know
the
you always
fucking
say
country, dude. That fucking place is a war zone every weekend.
Did you hear about what happened in Newburgh?
What at the high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fucking there for it.
Oh, were you? Oh,
yeah,
shit.
I was working that night.
Because Alan's niece.
Yeah,
right, Alan's,
I saw
his sister posted about it, right? Yeah, and
Yep.
I had no idea, and then I
Oh
looked it
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
10 minutes after the game concluded, there was a fight in the parking lot, and it led to 3 people getting shot.
3 people getting shot who had nothing to do with it, too, right?
Yeah. And dude, I'm telling you right now, the firearm was illegally owned, and this is like what you deal with. Like,
Yeah.
dude, criminals are criminals. They don't care about laws.
Yeah.
So all you do when you do these types of laws with guns and stuff, you're just hurting the law-abiding citizen. Now, do I think there should be some things in place? Absolutely. You can't just be reckless. But again, the criminals don't give a shit. They're criminals for a reason. You know, like there's this law, you know, I don't even know if it's in effect. It doesn't affect me. I'm exempt for being a police officer, but you know, the SAFE Act, you could only, you know, you had to carry 7 or less rounds in a magazine, you know, like some arbitrary number.
That's for your concealed carry?
Right. Like, so that's what the law-abiding citizen has to deal with, but it's a misdemeanor. You think the fucking criminal who's carrying an illegal firearm that's about to like go do a drug deal and he's carrying in case he gets confronted, he's going to shoot someone, you think he worries about the fucking misdemeanor?
Yeah.
He's carrying felony weight drugs. He's carrying an illegal firearm. You think he cares? Oh, let me make sure I only put 7 rounds in my magazine. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, so they're like hollow laws to like placate to a certain group of people. And like, oh, look what he's doing. But like the gun violence is fucking more rampant than ever. You know?
Yeah.
And again, I don't blame the fucking president of the United States for that. I just
Yeah.
think it gets tiring when you hear these people like preach this stuff, and it's like, they demonize the guns. It's like, just stop. It's not the fucking gun. It's the asshole behind it.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
there's a
it's
whole
not the car.
yeah.
It's the fucking drunk driver. It's the asshole who decided to drink, get loaded, and then fucking drive and crash into a family.
Yeah, and there's a whole route you can go down with that because again, nobody's got the right answer or the perfect answer. But I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
see,
of course. Like, yeah, how do you solve it? I don't know. Yeah.
to me, like, because again, like you said, you don't think the country's better off than it was. I don't know because I mean, maybe I'm not paying attention to it too much. Like you said, Trump was a lightning rod, so you always heard about what was going on. I don't hear about it so much anymore. I don't hear about anything about it anymore.
Well, of course, right. He's not nearly on TV as much, Of course, because yeah, Trump was a lightning rod. And he brought that upon himself. He would say outlandish shit, but
Yeah,
I just know like my bank account, my investments, what I pay at the grocery store, what I pay at the gas pump, that's up, and that's very fucking important to me. Because again, like if you told me like, oh, that shit's up, but then like, oh, gun violence is down, like
yeah.
race relations are that much better. I'd be okay. There's a sacrifice here, but
But
I don't.
do you think? I mean, I don't know, man, because because you're on the front lines too, so you see it and hear about it directly than what's just people posting online and what you see in the media and shit like that.
Yeah.
But because you don't hear about that much hate and much focus on diversity as there seemed to be previously. But do you think that's still more prominent now than it was, or do you think like
Oh, 100%. I think.
maybe things are a little cooler than they were 2 years ago?
Well, the pendulum always swings. Like, yeah, 2 years ago it got crazy because of what happened, between the police and George Floyd. Like
Yeah,
that next one that's gonna happen because it's going to, it's inevitable. It's it's bound to happen again. Like that'll stir it up too. So like I don't really. My thing is I don't pin that on the sitting president, right? Because the whole Mike Brown thing, which I feel like was the first one that started all this, that happened while Obama was in office. It has nothing to do with Obama. George Floyd had nothing to do with, you know, with Donald Trump. And like,
yeah,
there was one recently while Biden was in. My whole thing is Biden and the left, they run on the whole like, we're gonna fix this. So then when like you don't fix it, then that's easy. That's low hanging fruit for
Well, you,
me.
you don't think there was plenty of shit that Trump said, "I'm going to fix it," that he didn't fix?
Oh no, there was, and that's the things people point out. But the left runs on the whole like, oh, we're gonna fix it, and we're gonna unite everyone. But then when you don't, it's like, okay, you're a liar, right? Like you said you were gonna fix it, but you didn't fix it. But here I am, I'm basically saying like, I don't think it's the president's job, nor can he fix it. It
Yeah,
comes down to like communities and people.
yeah.
But when you
It
tell,
needs to be done on a much.
but when you run on like, oh, I'm gonna end gun violence. Well, now it's out of control. So what the fuck happened, dude?
Yeah, it needs to be run on a much smaller
Yeah,
scale.
don't
And
make fucking promises.
yeah, well, that's what they
Don't
fucking
let
do.
your mouth write checks that your ass can't cash.
Well, they have to because they're fucking
Well, of course, and
politicians.
that's the fucking main thing about politics. They're all fucking sleazeballs that sell their
Yeah,
souls for fucking votes. And it sucks.
they have to market themselves
Yeah.
like bullshit.
And I'm
Like,
a big believer that the fucking media like thrives on like people disagreeing and
oh yeah,
hating each. It's just.
there's a Key and Peele skit where they start arguing. The two guys start arguing about different points of view and blah blah blah, and then both at the same time they're both like, because Obama is the problem, and I'm like, wait, are you a Republican? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a Republican too. And they're like, sorry, we apologize. Next week we'll try to make sure we get someone with a different point of view
Yeah.
on the show. Like they start arguing and they don't even know what the fuck they're arguing about, and then they realize that they both have the same point. So why are they even arguing?
Yeah.
Because it's all fucking nonsense and bullshit. It's like it's marketing yourself to a certain group just to get elected.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. I wish there was a different way to do things, man. But it's such a fucking mess.
Yeah.
Everything
And
is.
like and this is the other thing too. Like So there's plenty of people that thought Trump was an embarrassment to this country. Like he didn't represent us the right way. I know for a fact people look at Biden, like other countries, and they just fucking laugh. They're like, look, this guy doesn't even know where he is.
Yeah.
My main thing is like, dude, we're a country of 330 million people, right? Like some of the brightest minds in the world. I mean, we're the biggest superpower in the world, right? Like everyone, loves them. Like America, like sets bars for a lot of stuff, right? And people are very envious of how we live, how free we live, right? 330 million people, some of the brightest minds and most creative minds, and like this is who we voted. This is who we had to pick from.
Yeah.
These two,
I know.
These two fossils.
Yeah. These fucking knuckleheads. These are our
Like, oh
fucking
my god! Like
candidates.
really?
Yeah.
Like ultimately, it's kind of like you need a guy that like, or a girl. It doesn't matter. Like you need someone that just like puts on the right appearance, like can speak well, and just like someone you could be proud of. Like they're representing our country.
Absolutely.
But I think we're never going to see that again because the line is so dug in the sand about like how left you are and how right you are. Like one thing Biden said that I did like hearing was like, I'm not a Republican president. I'm not just if I win, like that doesn't mean I'm like not the Republicans president too. Like he's trying to bring it together. But then guys just they're like everyone's policies and what they want to do. It's like so placated to like their voter base. So it's like both parties are guilty of it. It's fucking.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's a shame. Like you really wish like because independents never fucking win. But it's like that's what the fucking country probably needs right now. Someone who's like literally right down the middle. Guy that like is for abortion, but he's also for guns. Like one of those guys, like
somebody that uses their fucking head and is logical about certain things. And exactly like you said, independents never fucking win because they just I don't know, maybe they're not out there
because
the
Republican, the GOP and the Democratic Party, they're just too strong. Like they're too big, they have too much influence. They're gonna put their fucking candidate out there and they're gonna sink everything, every asset they can into them, and they're gonna win.
See, somebody that I think, I mean, I know you don't like him, but somebody you've said you fucking hate him. I like him a lot. I've listened to him a lot of interviews, and he fucking talks like every time he has a point, he says like, "Well, here's my point, and why this is why it's this." Is Jesse Ventura? And again, he's
I don't hate him. He comes. I think there's a lot of like Trump in him, like that arrogance.
Okay, which
he's an arrogant fuck.
Yeah,
so, yeah. You need. I think you need someone more like even keeled.
Okay.
He seems like a little bit too much of a hothead, and that's coming from a hothead. But again, I'm not running the fucking country.
I listen to him because I love listening to him talk. I listen to him in all kinds of interviews and stuff like that. And every interview he says, he's like, well, how why don't they do this and why don't they do that? And he definitely comes across as somebody because everything is like, why don't they show me this then? Or he again, same deal. He's never one way or the other. He always picks. He's when you listen to him talk, he speaks logically.
Right.
I mean, logically, when I say, even with some of his outlandish conspiracy theories, you hear that, and I mean, some of them are nuts, but but he does speak logically about them. Yeah. He doesn't, like almost like every time you see somebody in a movie, as soon as somebody in a movie says, "I know this sounds crazy," that's when everybody actually listens to them.
Yeah.
When they go out there and just say it, everybody's like, yeah, okay. But then we're like, look, I know it sounds crazy, but it's this. And then people start listening. And he doesn't, not in so many words, but he does say like, well, then how come it's not this? Or like, he'll have a point to back up all of his reasons of why he thinks certain things. And I think that's the kind of person you need, is someone who is not afraid to handle shit head on and not give you some kind of bullshit answer to dance around it.
Because ultimately you can't make everyone happy. You just can't.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just not going to. I feel like you just have to have like meet in the middle, like common sense type of approach,
Yeah.
Like,
and my father-in-law brought this up the other day because he stopped here and we had the Mets game on, and he mentioned how people are trying to change the name of the Braves and they want to get rid of the chop. But he was saying like they interviewed, Native American
I was
descendants.
just gonna bring this up.
And people were like, we don't care. It's not that
Dude,
big of a deal.
and that's the generation we're in right now, dude.
Be-
Black Lives Matter thing, dude. I see that being preached by more white people than I do black people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like it's almost like that pandering shit, you
Yeah.
know? And I'm just using Black Lives Matter as an example. There's other stuff like, like again, yeah, the Braves, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's like all these people are getting outraged. Like, you're not even Native American. Have you talked to a Native American? Because I've heard some of them are like, oh no, like they do it in a respectful way. It actually makes us proud of our heritage, like that it's being kind of put out there,
Yeah.
like
Because it's a very vocal minority.
right.
And that's what sucks too. Because if you actually talk to people about their views on certain things, like we've talked about it in the past, when you talk about somebody's views on something, they're not an asshole about it.
Right.
They think logically about it. They don't think as drastic to the right or to the left. They use their fucking head, and they're like, but the people that are the most vocal about it,
Yeah, oh
and
yeah.
like, oh well, we don't want to get in trouble, so we might as well do this before somebody fucking loudly says something. That's the fucking problem. That's what
Yeah.
constantly happens.
Yep. Yeah, the Cleveland Indians, they changed their name this year. They're now the Cleveland Guardians.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
I don't know. Yeah, this was their first year as the Guardians.
Really?
Yeah. But
See?
like the Washington Redskins, they got rid of their name like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that I knew.
For one
And
year, they were the Washington football team because they didn't have a name. Now they're the Commanders. But guess what?
oh, okay.
Fucking everyone our age and older, till the day we die, you're gonna refer to them as the fucking Redskins. You're gonna
Yeah.
refer to them as the Indians, and we're gonna know what we're talking about.
See, my
And I'm
shit.
not even saying it as a derogatory thing. It's just that was their name.
Yeah.
Like
See, Indians, it's not even like, I mean, I guess because they're not really Indians, that's why it's bad.
yeah, the Indians one, I'm with you. I don't get that. The Redskin thing, like okay, I get it. Like
Yeah.
Redskins, black skin, like
Yeah.
all right. You can sell me on that. Like this doesn't sound great. You should probably change that.
But here's the thing too. So yeah, exactly. Redskin, I absolutely get. But why now? Is it because
That's
we
the
have
question.
fucking Twitter and people can tweet about it the
100%,
most?
though, because everyone's got a voice now.
Yeah, because they've been the Redskins for how many fucking years?
Oh, dude, since the fucking 60s,
Yeah, but now because people have Twitter and people can see what other people are saying, now it's like, oh, okay, now this is offensive. We should probably get rid of it.
yeah, exactly.
But again, like I said, which I get, and I get how it absolutely can be offensive, but I just don't understand why now. I mean, are people just now more than ever being considerate of other people?
Well, I think
I don't think that's the fucking case.
there's been opportunity given to people that like maybe shouldn't have a voice. Like again, I don't want to say like certain people shouldn't, but everyone has a voice now.
Yeah.
So like the first time social media and having that platform like got something done, I think people were like, the light bulb went off. Like, oh, well, if we fucking complain about this or if we complain about this and the fucking mob comes out, the fucking angry mob and blah, 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 we can get anything changed,
But the problem is who's the angry mob?
Well, it's whoever's the
10, 15 fucking Twitter.
Well, right. Yeah.
voices?
No, I mean, that's all it takes. Who the fuck knows? And then it just grows and,
But I don't even know if it's that many.
Yeah, maybe not.
It can grow from like 5 fucking tweets.
Well, dude, you see it now too. Like, anytime there's like a social issue at all, like all these professional sports franchises, they have to like get out and make a statement. Because it's gotten to the point now, like if you don't make a statement, then you like condone what happened. It's like, whoa, time out. Like, I don't need the San Francisco 49ers giving me their opinion on like fucking a police brutality thing or, what happened in Ukraine or anything. Like, that's not their, like, I'm a big believer to a point of like staying in your lane. Like you're a professional football team. You're there for entertainment. You don't have to give me a fucking statement about Ukraine. But you're so worried about that fucking mob that if you don't give the statement, like, oh, you must be siding with Russia. Like, no, asshole, I'm not siding with fucking anyone. I'm just not speaking on it because I'm the owner of a football team.
Because it ain't my fucking business.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just fucking, but you see that now. Everyone's got to have a fucking statement. Or like you see, like the fucking memes for Gay Pride Month just crack me up, and it's so true, and it's so obnoxiously true too. Like even though now that there's memes and jokes about it, these companies still do it. For the
Yeah.
whole month, they changed their logo to rainbow. The minute that fucking calendar turns, done. Boom.
Yeah.
It's so funny. And like
And
they
it's
all do it now because if you don't do it, like, oh, you're homophobic. It's like, whoa, time out. No, I'm not. I just didn't change my fucking logo.
yeah. But then it's even like there's companies who have, given money to, anti LGBTQ fucking companies or groups, that have supported them, but yet they have their logo changed to the rainbow when the time comes. So
Right.
it's just all bullshit.
Oh, it
It's
is all
all
bullshit. And the
yeah.
thing is, unless you outwardly come and say, like, no, I don't support that, like, fuck those people, then like I don't think anyone should get outraged. If you say that, like, hey, yeah, you deserve the criticism. But if you
Yeah.
didn't like change your logo, like
Which
it doesn't mean you're anti.
I'm pretty sure Chick-fil-A has come close to doing that.
I don't think they did change it. They don't.
No, they don't change their logo, but they have
Yeah.
come close to not, being against gays.
Well, but this is the thing. They're a very like religious organization.
Yeah.
Like it is what
But
it is, man.
it's funny. I used to work with a girl who said something one time because she was obviously, she was left wing and, very pro gay. And it was funny because she talked about having Chick-fil-A and how good it was. And I was like, so it was like so good, makes you question your beliefs. And
Yeah.
we just laughed about it because,
Right.
because it's all, again, like, okay, it's a chicken sandwich. You're not, because you eat a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm in
But
the.
I don't know, because
See,
that's
and you,
part of it. If you believe in your if you have your beliefs and you stand your ground, that's fine, and that's what you should do. But I mean,
and that
eating a
carries
fucking
over.
chicken sandwich is not gonna
Oh, dude,
hurt
and that
anybody.
carries over to a lot of stuff. Like obviously the kneeling in the NFL, kneeling for the anthem was like a big thing with Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Dude, I know so many people like, I'm never watching NFL again. I'm like, okay, like
Ex
that's on you. Like to me, you weren't that big of a fan.
I
You
remember
know.
you saying that,
Now
yeah.
I don't agree with what Colin Kaepernick did. I think there's a time and a place you could go protest. I think that was a like, look at me, type of thing. And I just didn't agree with it. I thought he could have handled it a different way. However, he has the right to do it, and it's not going to fucking keep me from watching football.
Absolutely.
And the same thing goes with like Chick-fil-A or like Starbucks. Starbucks has had like some like anti war stances, like borderline, like not supporting the military, or at least that's how some people have taken it.
Really?
Dude, I'll slug a Starbucks coffee right now. You know why? Because it fucking tastes good.
Yeah.
Like someone said this on the sports radio like a year ago, and it's the perfect thing. Because I'll talk to like older guys that Robert De Niro leans very much left.
Oh, yeah.
And like guys like fuck him, I'm not watching his movies anymore. And like I recognize as a right leaning person, I know that fucking Hollywood is predominantly left. Like if I held that standard, like I'm not watching anything unless they're fucking right wing guys. Like I'm just watching Clint Eastwood and Tim Allen movies on repeat.
All the
Like
time.
that's it.
That's it.
That's all I'm watching. And that's going to lead to a pretty boring life.
Yeah.
I mean, I can watch Santa Claus a lot, but I'd like to change it up from time to time.
That's
But
exactly.
this guy on sports radio said it perfectly. He goes, sometimes you have to separate the art from the artist.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to do. Like, I can appreciate someone's fucking art and think they're an asshole.
Yeah.
And I do. I have my
Fucking
own
right.
opinions of Robert De Niro or fucking Tim Allen or Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm not going to stop watching their movies or watching football. Like, no.
That's exactly right. Like, this is fucking Robert De Niro we're talking about. So you
Right.
tell me you're never gonna fucking watch Goodfellas again
Yeah,
because he's
if Meet the
fucking
Parents is
anti-Trump?
on, I'm like, oh, Meet the Parents. Oh, wait, no, De Niro's in this. I can't watch this. No,
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking watch it.
Fuck that.
I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Yeah.
And I'm still going to laugh at it,
However, American Beauty was one of my favorite movies. I
You-
cannot bring myself to watch
All
it.
right, I think that's a moral thing. That's more than a like, we disagree on policy type thing. That's I think both right and left can agree that guy's a scumbag. Like that's different. That's different.
What a fucking shame, man. He was my favorite actor. He was
And that's
so
not
good.
even with like, you're talking about like young people. Like, that's a shame. Yeah, and he is a great actor. But yes, I think that's like a more.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's one place where I'm putting my foot down.
Like one thing I do notice, I'll still watch the movie, but like I wouldn't piss on the guy if his ass was on fire. The guy that played C in the Bronx Tale.
Yeah,
he was so his ex. So he became like a fucking drug addict and stuff.
He's from our area too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's from New York.
Yeah.
He became a drug addict, and I guess his like ex-girlfriend's dad was someone he would like run with, and like he was a drug addict too. They were both like they were like breaking into something or whatever, and he was like the accomplice in a fucking cop getting murdered, and he went to
Yeah.
jail for it and everything. And like Robert De Niro was in his corner and shit, and like that
Oh,
guy
really?
can fucking rot in hell, personally, because he had a hand in the cop's murder.
Yeah.
Granted he didn't pull the trigger, but again he was breaking the law. The cop confronted him and his scumbag, father-in-law or whatever, and so that's like a different thing. But again, just because an actor fucking wants to protest, or a football player wants to protest, or an actor hates, a certain politician, like, yeah, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's. I remember a friend of ours too. I figured, where did we go? Oh, we went to the Jets Raiders game with Johnny the Greek.
Yeah.
And he was telling us a story about him, how he knew him somehow.
Who?
Knew fucking Colangelo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he saw him from something. I mean, this was years and years ago, but
yeah,
exactly. And I heard about that stuff too. They was not a good dude. I remember seeing his face on the paper too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's interesting shit. But again, it's all really just about really. Who's this? Go to bed. Let's see. Is that my father? He checks in once in a while. He told me the first episode, too many F-bombs is what he said.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. He said, go to bed. Yeah, thanks, Dad. We will, because we're about to wrap things up here. I think towards the tail end here, we really got going on some good stuff.
Yeah.
This was a good episode. We talked about a lot of shit. But yeah, what a time to be alive. And honestly, don't be an asshole. Believe in what you believe in. Let others believe in what they believe in. Vote for who you want to vote for, but don't let it dictate your life. Just be a good person.
Yeah, because ultimately they don't give a fuck about you anyway. So
exactly,
they just want your vote.
Yeah, they wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire.
Exactly.
So. Yeah, exactly. So, all right, man. Anything to plug this week?
Nah, I've got nothing. Maybe next week.
I like these little tropes we're bringing up, like technical difficulties every single time we start an episode. Nothing to plug at the end. I do. I have plenty of shit to plug. Go buy my comic, The Championship Wrestling League. It's available on Etsy right now at Pop Quiz Apparel. Go buy some pins. Go listen to last week's, not last week's, the week before's Comic Book Club podcast and listen to me talk about my comic. Yeah, that's it. All that stuff. Go follow Mind Your Effing Business on Twitter and Instagram. Go join the Facebook group if you haven't joined the Facebook group yet. Some folks, again, we just need to build the community so we can keep chatting and do all this other stuff. And we appreciate everybody who listens and watches. This year, I know we're this week we started a little late, so maybe 9:45 we'll start going forward with me getting home from work a little later. But yeah, I think touched on some good stuff, and we'll look to do it again next week.
Yeah.
All righty, man.
All right.
I will send you memes back and forth all week, and then we'll chat on Monday.
Sounds good, bro.
All right, dude. Have a good night, and we'll go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right, later.
Take care. Bye.